Hi everyone, it's Samantha back again saying a big hello. Hope life's treating you very well as always. Hope everyone is okay, whichever part of the world you're from. It's a bit sort of miserable and rainy here in the northwest of England again, so I'm sat in my conservatory and it's going to rain soon. I can see it coming. So I thought we'd have a look at something pretty and fun and something to brighten our days. Okay, so I'm going to be today showing you how to make this link, which you can use to make these gorgeous chains, as you can see here. And this is one that I've used turquoise coloured beads with. Aren't they pretty? So these little links here, super easy to make, perfect for the beginner. And you can use these for earring drops or chains, anything like that, or little focals in between chains, that kind of thing. Anyway, so I'm rambling now, so let's let's have a quick look at the materials that we're going to need for this. Again, like with most other things that we like to do, we'll just use the bare minimum of materials because materials are expensive, aren't they? But you can make some really pretty things out of the bare minimum. So today with these, as usual, 1mm 18 gauge copper wire. You can use any type of wire that you want with these, as long as it's got some handle to it and it's not too soft. As usual, flush cutters to cut your wire. 2 pairs of your chain nose pliers, as always, just so you've got something to, you know, do your little bit of whittling with. And again, my preference, the 6-step bell making plier, but you're welcome to use your round nose. You're going to need a ruler just to measure out your lengths, as always. And you're going to need some little beads of around, I think, yeah, these are 6/0 seed beads. Okay, so you can use 6/0s, the little Matubo beads, which is these guys here. They're a little bit more square and fill the jump ring a little more than these little guys. Okay, but anything around about the 6/0 size would be absolutely perfect. Okay, and here I've got some beautiful red copper lined 6/0s. Okay, so I'll clear the table away and we'll go through how to make these cute links to make this beautiful necklace or bracelet. Okay, so I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so here we go. Let me just show you one of these little links in its individual form. Okay, so you have a little double twist at one side. Okay, so we'll go through how to make those. Right, so 1mm bare copper wire. Move these out of the way. And we want, each one of these little links takes 7 centimeters of wire. Okay, so as always, flush cut so that we've got nice clean edges. And let's measure out 7 centimeters. Like so. There we go. So that's 7 centimeters of wire. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is bring in our pliers. I'm using the 2nd step on mine to make these little hoops on the one side. Okay, so take your pliers, pop the wire right at the end, bend over like so, and then you just want to put a little kink in it like that. I use my nail, but you can use your pliers if you prefer. Okay, so we want to make one on the other side, exactly the same, heading in the same direction. Okay, so that the opening of the wire is facing away from you. So let's make a second one right at the end. Rotate your wrist like so, pop a little kink into it so that we have this. Okay, next thing we need to do is, with the openings of the wire facing to the right, if you're left-handed, reverse this obviously, And again, using your second step on your plier, or at least if you're using round nose, the same size. Find the center point. You can just eyeball it, or if you prefer, you can measure it out before you do your wire bending and that kind of thing. It's entirely up to you. I like to just eyeball it. Want to bend these together. This one wants to go underneath this one, okay? There's a reason for that, which we'll come to in a second. So bend under and over, okay? And then make this, okay? You see how both of these openings are facing that way. So this is what we're left with, okay? Flip that over and then replace your plier, okay? So that we have this. Then we didn't want to bend these back again. Very similar to what we did the first time. Keep everything nice and straight. If your wire wants to faff around and mess you about, just straighten it up. What we're aiming for is for these loops here to be exactly covering each other. But instead of under this time, this one wants to go over this one. Okay, so make sure it goes over the top. Okay. And that's it. It's as simple as that. If you find that one of these hoops is just slightly offset, which sometimes happen, it's not always going to be perfectly neat, is it? Just come in with your pliers, just give them a slight tweak. And together, using your fingers, just to make everything nice and neat and tidy. Okay? And that's it. That's all you have to do. Perfect for the beginner. Okay, so there we go. The next thing we need to do is to join them together. Okay, so I'm using 1mm, 5mm jump rings. I make these myself, but obviously you can buy them in stores and things like that. So here's a few. So what we want to do is when we're joining is to make sure that everything flows nicely. So the open ends keep on the left or the right, and the closed ends keep in the same direction. Okay, so you just see here, everything goes in the same direction. Now by doing one under and then one over, you'll find that you get a nice crossover effect, okay? Which also means that these open ends, one closes in one direction, one closes in the other. So it actually makes it more secure, okay? So let's bring in our little beads. Okay, so take one end, come in with your jump ring. Okay, so we have our jump ring here. Pop a little bead. I'm looking through the camera here, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. Just bear with me for a second. Okay, so you've got your little bead on, if you can see that. Okay. Pop a bead on the other side. So essentially you have a bead on each side of your unit, typically, because I'm working through the camera, it's not playing the game. Bear with me for a second. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, we have a bead on either side. You see that? The next thing we want to do is to pop on our next unit. Okay, so we just literally hook it like so, and then close up the jump ring. This bit can be a little fiddly, so I'm hoping that this works out okay. And it has. Thank you, jewellery gods. Okay, and that's how we've joined our two little units. Okay, so it's really as simple as that, actually, really simple. Okay, so go ahead and make quite a few of these and you'll be left with such a beautiful design. And like I said, you can omit the beads if you prefer and just have these as a chain for a pendant or just for a basic chain, that kind of thing, without the beads and just the jump rings. It looks equally as pretty. Okay, so I hope you have lots of fun, and it's just a very quick tutorial on a really simple link for necklaces, and I hope you have fun. Okay, so I'll see you very soon. Thanks for joining me today. Bye bye.